Alright, so happy you have joined me here in this video. Today we're going to be looking at if you are doing a backsplash in your kitchen, how you can make your receptacles, your outlets, even. In other words, you don't want them to sink in if you build out your walls if you're backsplashing. So I've done several backsplash jobs in prior homes in my existing home, and it's great if it's just drywalled, but once you put tile back there, you need to push your outlets out a little bit more so they're not sunken in, if that makes sense. We'll take a look here at what I'm talking about. So imagine this is the backsplash, or your drywall or whatever you have before you backsplash. You can see that the outlets are designed to be flush with the existing wall. Well, if you build out your wall, if you put in mortar and tile, then your outlets are going to have to be pushed out a little bit further as well. So I'm going to show you how that works in this video. We'll go ahead and take a look at an example here. Let's back out the screw and take a peek behind. Okay, so you're basically going to be tiling, all the way up and around the hole in the wall. And then imagine your tiling is done, however deep that tile is. So your outlet cover like that's going to stick out, and those receptacles you can see are sunken, right? So how do you get those out? Well, keep in mind I am not a licensed electrician at all, but this is the product that we're going to be using. They're little spacers here. So you obviously want to kill the power when you're dealing with any electrical work before you start poking around and whatnot back here. So go to your breaker box and find the power for that and make sure that that is off. Test it well. You can Google different videos on how to do that if you're interested. Now this is the finished backsplash, and you can see here we've got the tile coming up to the edge, but take a look at those green spacers. Look at that. They're little spacers that you install, and we'll kind of show you how this works. And you slide that screw right through the spacers, and it basically puts a gap, and you can control how deep it is. So if you want it to be, pushed out a little bit more, you can add another spacer. They're like super thin, so you stack them to get the desired space that you need. So you can kind of play around with that. And they're really simple to use. You can fold them over, snap them together, cut them off if you need them. And they've already got these pre-drilled holes right down the middle, so the screw kind of slides in through the hole like that. So let's take a look and imagine that we need a stack of these on the bottom and the top. And they should be the same. So if you need like 5 of these stacked on the bottom, you should have 5 on the top, right? And you can see the screw there, the top of your outlet just kind of slides on like that. And then you just screw that in to the wall. And that's basically it. So it's like super easy, but kind of a problem, or like, a big, well, how do I do this, right? These things are, pretty generic spacers. And I'll put links down below, as I always do, for supplies and whatnot that you may need to complete the job. So you can check that out. But you can pick these up at the local hardware store. I think they're pretty affordable. They're just little pieces of plastic, right? And then you just kind of screw it into the wall like that, right? Now this is a demo. I'm not screwing it into the wall, but that's kind of how the orientation is going to be. And you can see it kind of slides and rotates, so I like to make sure that they're pretty much horizontal to the surface of your countertop, for example, like that. So then you just kind of pop it in like that. So this is kind of the finished product, and you can see the receptacle now is pushed out to be flush with the tile. And then from there, it's just a matter of finding the correct plate. And I like to use oversized plates to eliminate or reduce the chance of error, so you can't see cut tile edge behind that plate there, so it covers it up nicely. But you can see how flush that is, the finished product. So it's pretty easy. So pick yourself up a packet of those, and they're cheap enough. You can buy them in bulk if you need to. Have some laying around if you ever do future jobs. But yeah, do that for each of your outlets, and you should be good to go. Power things back up once you're all done, And that's it. So we'll stop the video there. Hopefully this has helped you out. Click that like button if it hasn't. Don't forget to subscribe as always if you have not already.